Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm so happy to be here with a special premiere. We're not live, but we taped this, and you're watching a premiere, so you can chat along as we do it because I wasn't in town this week. But I got my friends here. Hey, everybody, say hello.
Hello,
Hi. Man, we're going to get intense here. We are going to talk about the Phase 4 lineup. We're going to go through each title, and overall, is Phase 4 actually exciting? Is it worth it? We're going to break all that down. That's right. Today, we are doing a special Anytime I can play that graphic is a good time. All right, let's meet our fighters. Over here to my left, we got Wilson Fisk himself coming straight from the cosplay of the Tampa Bay Comic-Con. Don is back. What's up, Don?
Always good to be back. I'm glad to have this opportunity to try to regain my title.
Good luck.
I know, I need it.
Next to you, Lee, we have you back finally.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
You tape on Wednesdays. You
Yes.
do a show, your trivia stuff on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
so
I do, yeah.
Now that we did a pre-tape, you get to be here. Welcome back.
I
What do you
appreciate
think
it.
of the new studio?
It looks great. It's fantastic.
Some
I've
nerdy stuff.
been watching all the videos. I'm a little jealous, so I'm glad
Well,
I'm finally actually
You're
here.
back. I'm glad to have you back. You know your comics, so welcome. Over to my right, happy to have John. What up, John?
How you doing? I'm back, baby.
You're right, and I'm on your team. Looks
Yeah,
like it's gonna
good.
be. I'm joining the fight today.
Oh yeah.
Woo! This is gonna be good. I'm passionate about
very
the
good.
subject. We're gonna do it. Yes, bam. All right, guys. So let's start the way I thought this would be better. Overall, we're gonna just talk about Phase 4, but I thought in order to really do this properly, we're gonna go through each property and spend a little bit of time arguing as to whether they are worthy. Should we be excited? Is this a good lineup? And I think there's going to be some repetition, and for me at least, because I think the Disney Plus shows are in its own league. But I want to handle each property. We're going to go through it. So let's start with Black Widow. Round one here, Black Widow. Is Black Widow worthy? Are we excited for Black Widow? Is this a good point in Phase 4? Let's start it out. Who wants to start?
You want to? I'll go with you.
All right.
Are
You want to play your cards? I think you know where I'm going to go.
I do. I was like, and let's be honest. I know you. You like Black Widow. You enjoy her.
I do.
But you felt her arc was done.
Yes.
And I respect that. It was done. But here's the thing. They are wanting to expand the universe and expand the story. Black Widow is a great opportunity to expand the story without having to worry about bringing in a new character and have to re-explain anybody or do anything on that. Black Widow is a spy. Today, and to my knowledge, they haven't announced that it's going to be like an action film, or it could be like a spy film, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they're saying it's after Civil War. Is what we know.
After
But it's going to be
War.
action.
But
I mean,
There's always action
the
in
trailer
it.
they released was pretty
There's a
action-packed.
trailer.
But can you make that interesting?
Well,
Can you make
Comic-Con.
a Marvel spy movie interesting? We really haven't seen that. I mean,
Well, yeah, there are interesting spy movies. Look
mean-
at James Bond.
I know, but
Winter Soldier.
is it going to be just a carbon copy of James Bond? Or are we just going to get the Marvel version of
But here's the
James
thing.
Bond?
Well, that's not a bad thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
Winter Soldier was good.
Yeah, it was
Exactly.
good.
Winter
Yeah.
Soldier is the best version.
That
So
was a 70s-ish spoof spy movie.
And Black Widow is like next to Nick Fury, the spy of spies.
True.
And like,
she really does know how to scissor kick a bad guy.
Yeah.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I will watch a good scissor kick any day of the week. I like pro wrestling. But
Are you with them, Lee? You're supporting this one?
Absolutely. So I don't see it as just focusing on her. If, in fact, my current theory, considering how hard they took to cast the second female lead, I can't remember her name right now.
Rachel Weisz?
No, not Rachel Weisz, the younger
The
one.
Poe, what's her name? Yes.
She was in Fighting with My Family.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
forget her name, but okay, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, if I'm not, all right, my theory currently is that she's going to be replacing Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow,
Oof.
because there is
might
a
be the
second
less.
Black Widow in the comics.
Well, there's
Maybe
multiple
Elena.
Black
Yeah,
Widows, yeah.
there are multiple. So I'm pretty sure that this is her origin story. And if the footage from Comic-Con's accurate, it shows them fighting, and then she calls her sis. So, I mean, that right there, I feel like if they've been trained the same, if they have the same sort of background, this could easily be a launch off for that character in the future phases.
I just think that maybe does Black Widow work alone? She doesn't have like Captain America or Nick Fury or anything like that. Will this movie like stand on its own? Like, will we be invested in Black Widow for her standalone story? I know it's like the Taskmaster is going to be
Taskmaster's one of them.
Taskmaster.
Red Guardians, one of the
is gonna
villains.
be in
Yeah.
it. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if.
But here's the thing: it does work alone. Black Widow has been alone in the comics for years, and everybody associates with her with the Avengers. But the thing was, she was an enemy of the Avengers early on, and in the comics. And even afterwards, she stood alone on herself.
But do you
the
think
thing with the Taskmaster is great because that explains villains.
Mm-hmm.
He trains villains. He's not only like a big bad himself. He gets hired by other big bads, and he actually trains other ones to be prepared for fighting Avengers and other organizations. And he is basically someone that is not someone to be underestimated in any point.
Not. No.
So by putting him there, it's not just his power; it's his intelligence, the skills that he has. That's perfect for opposite of.
I mean,
Black
let's be
Widow.
honest here. Marvel has a problem with killing their villains.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
they
yeah.
kill almost
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
That's
That's why
what-
I'm so glad to
that's-
see Zemo coming
That's
back.
what I was
Homicidal.
pissed about Homecoming, or not Homecoming, Far From Home. They killed Mysterio. I
Yeah.
thought that was a really terrible idea.
I agree,
Keep him around
yeah.
for more adventures.
I mean, especially after they kept Vulture alive in Homecoming, I thought this would easily set up a Sinister Six
Yeah.
or some sort of baddies versus Spidey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Well, so to chime in, I don't care. It's a little too late. It's like Black Widow should have had a movie 4 years ago. And this like weird going after Civil War, okay, maybe they're introducing some new hero that's now suddenly going to jump in to which movie? I don't even know where. Falcon and
it's
the
gonna
Winter
be
Snow Soldier, I guess. It just feels forced and unnecessary. Black Widow did have a fantastic arc. I like her as a character. I wouldn't mind a film. If they go Winter Soldier, interesting. But the problem is we know the timeline. And we even saw the flashbacks in Ultron about her ballerina school. Like, because her story is over, I'm not that excited to now go back to a weird chapter where we see some action scenes. It just feels kind of boring and not exciting.
I would say I agree with you that this is a long time coming. It should have happened years ago. But at the same time, if they go the path I think they're going and launching off a new character, this is a good way to just kind of epilogue Scarlett Johansson's time as Black Widow and pass the torch on to a new one.
Well, let's look at this schedule again because as we wrap up this one, I want to get to the next one. But where does the Black Widow character even fit? It's not going to be
Yeah.
Eternals. It's not going to
No.
be Shang-Chi.
It'll
Doctor
go
Strange
right
doesn't
here.
make sense. And then Thor, don't have another movie until Thor, which also is not a good place for them. So we're going to launch some new female spy, Peggy Carter, Black Widow type character that then shows up where? It's just like, what are we going to do?
Actually, it could since they're doing the series and they're going to be canon with the movies, it could actually go right into the Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's going to be a series that's going to be very relevant for spies as well as covert ops and military tactics. So if they were bringing in a new character for Black Widow to replace Scarlett Jo, then that could be carried on.
It's a lot of speculation.
It is.
It is.
It's
It's
a lot of
All this
speculation.
is
Oh
all
my God.
speculation.
Can Black Widow work in a standalone movie? Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
So you
I'm
agree?
against you there. Why can't she work in a standalone movie?
I mean,
she's
I'm
a
just
cool
saying,
character.
she is a cool character, but I mean, it depends on the writing, and I don't know if she can hold her own movie though. I don't know if she,
Why
if
though?
she-
I don't, that now you're losing me because I don't have a problem with her
No,
doing
I
a
don't have a
movie.
problem
My
with
problem
her.
is the placement of the movie, the fact that the movie's too late,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that she's a dead character that we've already seen her, reach her peak.
Her arc is over. I mean, why go back?
That's where I'm confused. I don't know why we
Mm.
go back. So, all right. So we're mixed here. I don't think we're going to make a set. Where do you think on? Where do you stand on Black Widow? Who won that round? I think it's a bit of a draw, but let's go I might change my mind depending how we talk about this next one because if we jump into Falcon and the Snowman, I keep thinking when I see that.
Snowman?
That's the the movie.
Winter Soldier.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This one is interesting.
Yeah.
But it's also just, they're two secondary characters. I know the Falcon now is becoming a major character because obviously he's Captain America now. But they're a buddy cop partner thing.
Yeah.
So that seems appealing if they're going to go humor. Those two guys are funny. Sebastian Stan plays a great straight man to Anthony Mackie's crazy, person. So I think there's something to it. At the same time, it just feels like, all right, so now this is the beginning of the Marvel procedurals, which scares me a little bit because I don't really know if there's enough to do. Is anyone else nervous before Lee starts saying how much he loves it?
I mean, they have such great chemistry in Civil War. I love the bit when they're fighting Spider-Man, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They have great chemistry. I think it could work as like a limited series. Like, don't make season after season. I think it could work like as a standalone season, like 7 episodes of them getting into stuff, doing superhero stuff. I mean, I don't know. I really don't.
Adon?
So
I don't
you're
know.
for it.
I'm for it. Yeah, I'm for it. I think it would be very
So
interesting.
we've won that
because
one.
So-
they have great chemistry.
Didn't even need to argue. No, but
I think.
like,
Well, so I think it sounds like we're on it. We agree this one's okay. I'm not. This is probably of all the ones up here. This one's like interesting to me because
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
all right, this could be fun.
well, like in the comics, like you agree with me on this. Like the biggest issue was that Sam Wilson took the title from Captain America, but which other people have taken that title multiple times.
Bucky,
but
wielded
Bucky,
the shield for a while, yeah.
U.S. agent, and so
Yeah,
forth.
Hawkeye for a
even
little bit.
Punisher. But people didn't really notice until Sam Wilson because they're like, "You're black," and that was an issue.
Right.
And like both government wise as well as social media and public wise, and that became a whole factor in the comics, as well as like not only that is the pressure of living up to the title.
Very true.
Well, I think it would be interesting storytelling if like the Falcon and Winter Soldier got at it. You're the new Captain America. I should be the new Captain America, or no, I'm the new Captain America. That would be
But
interesting. That would be a
that's-
great dynamic between them.
That's going to be the interesting thing, though, because you have Sam, who likely doesn't feel like he's ready to pick up that mantle, and you have Bucky, who doesn't even feel like he should be forgiven for the things that he's already done.
That's interesting.
So, I mean, that's where I feel like they're going. That's where I see the bulk of the story,
Yeah.
is you have a man who doesn't feel like he should be throwing that shield around, and another one who's like, I don't even think I should be out. I should probably be in jail for all the horrible things I've done.
Yeah.
And it's
so
yeah, no, I agree. And I've seen in Endgame where they sort of show that, and you can tell like Bucky's like, yeah, do this. I don't
Yeah.
deserve this. I agree with you on that. And I think this is not something that should be a feature length film. I think it would have trouble.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good lead way to get people excited about the characters, put some money behind them. So
Plus-
I'll give this one a plus. This one is interesting to me.
really quick, though, Baron Zemo with a
Yeah.
purple mask. I mean, Daniel Bruhl came out at Comic-Con. He had the mask on. That's fucking
Why
cool,
is he
man.
coming after them though? That doesn't make sense.
Why not? I mean, he's a
Why
big
not?
bad. He's a G.
But the whole point was he was trying to make
Because
Avengers.
it was in the comic books.
Yes,
Andy.
come on.
But he should be going after. I guess he can't go after Cap and Iron Man. So he's like, I'll go after these two new,
Exactly,
smaller
yeah.
guys.
Winter Soldier was
don't
part
have
of the
superpowers.
one
Yeah.
series, and like he's like,
That's it. Well, so sorry, because you're comic, and I want to ask this.
yeah.
The Falcon and Winter Soldier don't really have superpowers, right? Winter Soldier, I
No.
guess, did he get the super serum? He just has a mechanic
super-
arm.
He has like
He
a,
has
he has
like
a
a-
modified version.
Yeah,
but
he
the
has like
biggest
a
thing
Nazi
that-
version,
The
yeah.
the biggest thing is his cybernetic arm,
Right.
And he is like
And then
extremely high trained.
And then Falcon just has the suit, but he's not
He has the
strong.
wings.
Neither of them are like Captain America strength.
No, but he's also he was military. I mean, he's been trained.
The power levels on these shows is always a little
Yeah,
questionable.
but in all honesty, like you might as well consider them not as superpowered as Captain America. Like they can't bench press a helicopter or nothing like that. But that's also leads into the psychological. Like, how am I gonna, hold up that mantle when this guy is on a whole new level than I am?
I'm just
That's a lot of pressure.
I'm just worried that the show would be them just in regular clothes, like discussing cases and stuff like that. I hope that's not.
No, I don't think it's going to
I
be
want
Castle.
No,
with this Captain America
I would
shield.
be really pissed if that happens. I want them in their costumes, beating the shit.
Yeah,
Well,
out
they're
of
not going to
people.
be in costume all the time, but like
Yeah, I
Winter
know.
Soldier will have the arm all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, of course.
Unless he just like rips it off.
Yeah, and
no,
who's the
have it.
agency they're working for? Because there must be some new agency that takes. So all right, so I'm intrigued. I'll give that one a pass.
Yeah.
That's the first point on the board that I think is unanimous.
Yay.
All right, let's jump to the next one. Eternals.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, someone wants to defend Eternals?
Absolutely. So, Kumail Nanjiani has been putting on weight. He's been trying to put on like 20 to 40 pounds of muscle. He got cast in this movie.
So?
Brian Tyree Henson,
So?
Henry, freaking Angelina Jolie. The cast is freaking just
not,
stacked.
Who cares?
What do you mean? Who cares? The cast
So
is
what, a
freaking
cast
fantastic.
doesn't mean
Escape from the
anything.
planet of boring.
Yeah.
No, that's what you
boring.
think, but I mean, we don't know what story they're pulling
Have you read
from.
the comics?
Yeah, Neil Gaiman wrote a comic series on it. He did a whole arc about them not knowing who they are and Sprite coming by and awaking
more
them all
amnesia?
and gaining
Come
them.
on.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Come on.
See,
Nothing here is getting me excited.
Let's be honest. Like the Eternals is basically a race of Supermen. They're
Yeah, too much power. I don't need that shit.
Like here's where it gets great. 2 reasons. One,
Okay.
Thanos is an Eternal.
Yep.
Ugh.
And he
You're
has
not helping your case. I don't want
No,
Thanos back.
You're not gonna
It's not
get
getting
Thanos.
Thanos. No, you're
But
getting.
if anything, you
So
may
we're
get
getting like 7 Thanoses or something?
No,
You're getting the
here's
siblings of
what's
Thanos.
happening. You either get his family,
Okay.
which has a whole different aspect, like his brother. Like there's he's a hero, but he's also
Thanos' brother,
Oh, yeah.
Danos.
No, it's Star Fox.
It's a Star Fox,
Yeah.
Eros, and Star Fox is a hero, but at the same time, he's very messed up. Like he in the comics, he went to court for like
He has
the
persuasion
ability
powers.
for persuasion
Yeah.
and seducing people.
Oh, come on,
And-
Don. You're not excited for this. You don't have to argue
No,
every
but here's
round. I
the-
gave you Falcon and Winter
No,
Soldier.
but here's the part that I love about it. It could bring in the X-Men. The reason being is
Really?
no, because Eternals are an offshoot of humanity. They're actually humanity is genetically modified in the Marvel universe by the Celestials.
Yeah.
And so you have 3 versions of humanity. What we are, we have the Eternals and the Deviants.
Yeah.
And then the Deviants pretty much is like all pushed to the
Demons,
side or whatever.
they're monsters.
And
yeah.
now the humans have genetic abnormalities that are put in their system that will
Celestial seed.
evolve into mutants, or that gives the abilities to survive certain things, like the Hulk.
So you're delving into Earth X.
So-
Exactly.
I mean,
And
it's kind of confusing a little
Yes.
bit. I mean,
But they use that as an avenue
I'm a
to
dumb
explain
dumb.
it.
I mean, I'm dumb. I mean, you gotta get me instantly, and you're kind of.
I mean, we'll see
Like,
how it goes.
here-
I'm
here you
thinking.
go.
It's really
it's a
extreme.
movie to get you into it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
I mean, I know
it's
there's
a
a-
gateway, like a gateway drug. It just gives
I
you a
know.
little taste,
It's
so
a-
you know what's
it's too
coming.
much.
It's a
It is-
super
it
powered
is a
Brady
little bit.
Bunch.
I mean,
That's all it really is.
I mean,
It's a family.
Guardians of the Galaxy are a bunch of assholes from the corners of the universe come together to fight bad guys, and that's all you need. I mean, the Eternals. I mean,
I said it before. Eternals is going to be Clash of the Titans.
It may be.
Maleficent level. There's nothing exciting about that.
You didn't say Clash Tyson. You said
Wrath
of the Titans.
which is a sequel. The even
I'm just
worse
curious.
Sequel.
I'm curious if they're going to stick to space or if they're going to be on Earth. That's my big curiosity.
It's
to
probably
it.
going to be on Earth.
It's probably
Because
Earth,
I'm-
and that makes it even
because
more
they
lame. So we
are
have these
really
superpowered
powerful.
gods
They
on
do,
Earth,
yeah.
like Thor. We've seen it,
Yeah.
but then it's also too weird. All right, come on. This one, no.
This is a rebuilding season. I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah,
man.
this
They
is not
need
a-
to
this
set up
was-
new
if
people.
this is not a
Good.
necessary
I will
chapter.
Eat my words. I will,
Me too.
I will eat my
Fair
words. If
enough.
this is good.
I will be there with.
But
a bite.
this is not one that I'm like, yes, yes. I need some each. I need me my Eternals. No,
Don
no.
shutting the-
Don, so you really going hard in Eternals, or is this one that makes you nervous?
It does honestly make me a little bit nervous.
All right, we'll take it. All right, so now
I'll
we're.
be honest.
I'm
We've
not going to
broken
say
even.
it's not a risk. It's not like it's not a risk. It's a risk, but so
Yeah.
was Guardians of the Galaxy
No,
when
don't
we
keep
first announced
comparing
it.
It's not as fun as
It was,
Guardians.
but I'm saying it was a risk.
Sure,
and
but
if anyone
it was-
deserves
there's
it,
a
it
lot of
risks.
risks Marvel could take.
Yeah.
I mean, they could
It
do
was a-
Moon Knight. They could do a million things that would be risks. This Eternals is a dumb idea.
Well, Moon Knight. I mean,
Whatever, but
yeah.
there's dark things
That
they
should
could
be
go.
a
Even doing Deadpool again is a risk for Disney right now.
Yeah,
but Eternals,
seriously.
come on, we don't need that. All right, so Shang-Chi, I don't know enough about him. He seems like the guy who's playing him. I like the story. They picked like this. He's not done a lot of work. I mean, he's
Yeah.
done stuff, I guess, in where he's from, but interesting. And he seems nice and excited, but.
And it seems
I
that
don't know if he's not that popular of a character. Let's be honest.
no, he's not. He was the Marvel's answer to Bruce Lee. Yeah,
Oh.
in the '70s. I mean, he
he
now has powers in modern. He has the ability to duplicate himself. I don't know if they're going to do that in the movie, but I mean, I'm not really focused on Shang-Chi. I'm focused on the Mandarin because Iron Man 3 didn't give us a great Mandarin.
It destroyed the Mandarin. Everybody got all pissed off.
I didn't get
because-
pissed off.
wait, how
I just
can
wanted
Marvel-
to see the 10 rings. I want to see that.
What?
You know,
Okay.
from Iron Man cartoon that I watched as a kid. You know, Mandarin was fucking diabolical. That dude was powerful.
I thought that was funny.
And,
I mean,
you know-
I thought it was funny.
They did
The
a
Iron Man
short
3
film
twist.
to
I
try
didn't
to
know.
Yeah,
retcon
Hail
it.
to the King. Yeah.
Hail to the King, because like they.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Prisoner.
Yeah,
Was
when
it
they
the
took him out of
yeah.
prison, it was like, you need to talk to this man. He's not happy with you that you took his name.
Yeah.
Kind of serious situation to lead you to believe that the Mandarin really does exist.
Yes.
And people
That's
have been
Marvel
dying for
backtracking,
years.
It was.
To
It
bring back
definitely
the
was.
Mandarin properly. The Mandarin is a Shang-Chi villain, but he's also an Iron Man villain.
Yeah.
He's not anymore.
Well, not anymore. The reason I'm excited about it is like honestly, Iron Fist was a disappointment for me.
true,
It was and I am a big martial arts fan, huge.
Oh, yeah.
And Shang-Chi is not arguably he is the best martial artist in the universe of Marvel.
Even Daredevil, like he's better
Yes.
than
Yeah,
Daredevil.
he's literally trained the heroes that we think are the best martial artists.
Oh, wow.
And then they'll go like, oh, we can't beat him. Wow. And he is the man. Now, the fact of the matter is, like, they introduced this character. They're gonna put the money back into it. They're gonna get the items in here. This could be like my new favorite martial art movie potentially.
If they do the martial arts correctly.
If they do
Yes.
it correctly. I don't think they're going to shortchange it like Iron Fist was with Netflix. They're going to do it right.
Well, the
and I
best
wanna
martial
say that
arts
justice.
in MCU is currently still, I think, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
When
Exactly.
He kicks the guy. If they go, John Wick style, crazy, real hand-to-hand combat without tons of cuts, interesting. At the same time, though, I'm just still like, who is this guy? Why him right now? I mean, I know why him, because I think it's right. They want to have an Asian lead, and I think that's fair. But at the same time, like, is the movie gonna be good?
I mean,
but didn't everybody say the same thing about Guardians? Like, who are these people? Why are they like? They take that gamble, and then like it pays out. It grabs people's attention. They're like, I want to know what this is. I want to feel what this is. It's not Doctor Strange, even though he goes like metaphysical in some areas.
I'm just saying that like it's a drunken master made by Marvel. That could work. I mean,
think of it. Yeah,
and I think there's a pressure on this, so they don't seem like they just made. Oh, we made an Asian superhero because we were told to. I think they will really put the time in, and I hope to make sure the martial arts is great, the story's great, and in which case, if they do that, I agree. To get a good kung fu movie again with that kind of budget, all right, intrigued. So I feel like that one I could be swayed on too. I'm swaying. You guys aren't swaying. You're just drinking the Kool-Aid in every movie. But all right, so I'm not entirely against Shang-Chi.
They could do the Mandarin right.
But here's one. Here's one we better be at odds with. WandaVision. Come on, this is too much for me. And then Monica Rambeau's in this. Why? Why is she in with
maybe
Vision?
She's a therapist now? I mean, I don't know.
And then Vision's going to come back, which is clearly, I don't know if Shuri just downloaded him or what's happening. But
so we don't know that. For all we know, this is Wanda psyche just broken. Because they keep talking about 1950s.
Well, Paul Bettany's in it.
Yes, I know that. But they keep talking about 1950s-ish like style and all this other stuff. I'm kind of wondering if he's back as only like her hallucination.
No, is he
her
back
mind's
in,
just
like
broken?
Is he back in car form and it's like Knight Rider? You know.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
But you look at the logo; it sure feels like a logo. Yeah.
They keep saying that this series is going to lead into Doctor Strange and actually make her the Scarlet Witch. That and give her a reason to have that name. So in the comics, I mean, House of M or House of X, House of M, all that. I mean, that was all Wanda being really powerful and losing her damn mind. I mean, Young Avengers, the kids, search for Wanda, all that was all Maximoff just out of her mind and her powers going out of whack. So I mean, this could really.
Feige has gone on record saying this series is weird.
Yes,
he has admitted this is a weird series.
Scarlet Witch has always been a weird character.
Yeah.
But she's weird because she is, well, in this version they call her an enhanced human, but in the comics she was a mutant.
Yeah.
But she also was a witch. She practiced magic. And that was augmented her powers also and made it super powerful. So the fact that it leads into Doctor Strange makes sense because she could be like making her a witch, making her trained in magic. Now the crazy part about her is that and Vision is they have a relationship that they shouldn't be able to produce heirs or expand or anything of that nature.
No, but we got the twins out of it.
You get twins. Vision eventually builds a family.
Yeah.
They can do so many different things, and that introduces other characters like that could bring in a metaphysical realm. You have Mephisto, who's a version of the devil, and there's one character that kidnaps the children to basically use the souls to complete himself.
I mean, you could have the high evolutionary.
Demons. I mean, there's so many
I'm not into
different
any of
things
this.
on
This
it.
all sounds too crazy to me.
I mean, you're saying that Wanda is weird, but during the whole MCU movies, I mean, she just does this.
Yeah, she's been very
But
underrated.
here's the thing, that's before she gets into magic.
But I mean, why not show that during the movies? And now you're saying, oh, this is going to be weird now.
There really hasn't been time to do it. I mean, you got to think.
Well, I agree because even
all
Vision
the stuff
and
that's happened to her. Yeah,
I was gonna say even the relationship between Wanda and Vision felt forced, and they never really gave them a moment. I
mean, we
didn't understand why they were together.
We have Age of Ultron where she loses her brother.
Which, let's be honest, Age of Ultron's one of the worst Marvel movies there are.
It's not the best, but
so that's the problem. Like, I don't care about these characters. Even Vision to me is just sort of like he's kind of, and they're too powerful. And then you're gonna do a TV level budget to WandaVision.
We don't know what the budget's like because it's Disney backing it for their own network.
Sure,
so
but I'm saying I'm intrigued because it's going to be weird, and so I'll watch it from an intriguing factor. But
see, I like weird.
You want to see a car accident?
I haven't seen.
That's what it is, right?
I haven't seen any evidence of Wanda being weird or elusive or like intriguing or like in these movies.
She has mind powers.
I know she has mind powers, but I haven't seen that.
Well, we haven't had the time, and this show might give us the time, and that's a good thing.
Each time we see her, she's more powerful than the last.
I don't know.
What's crazy too is let's look at this because to make my argument as we keep going. Like they're doing 3 properties in 2020. May, fall, November, right? And then
Yeah.
in 2021, February, spring, May, spring, summer, fall, November. That is a lot of freaking Marvel, and that's where I think things are going to start being odd, because it's like you got what three movies in November, February, May, November, and then you got one. I'm not even counting What If, because it's not really connected to the lore. I mean, it will, because it's going to tell alternate stories, but you got 3 full TV shows, 3 full features in the course of a year. It's too much, and if all that stuff. The TV shows are the ones that I would cut out first, just because I'm like, I don't care. So I want to go to Doctor Strange and Multiverse so we can get through this, because I know it's taking forever, and I want this to be 2 hours. But Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness sounds like a weird horror movie. I keep thinking of The Mouth of Madness.
Yeah.
But
Great
I'm
John
intrigued
Carpenter
because
movie.
it's a horror movie. I think that's an interesting take. I like that Scott Derrickson's going to do that.
Yes.
Bringing Wanda into it is, I guess, interesting. And I don't like that it's connected to the TV show. I don't like that the TV shows are connected to the movies. Just make them sort of their own little stories that lightly connect, but don't really have to. But it sounds like these two are going to connect bigly.
You have to watch
I used a
this to
Trump
get
word
this.
there. But yeah, you have to watch this in order for that to work. That makes me and I just don't care about Doctor Strange that much. He's a necessary person, but his standalone movies don't excite me. But I think by throwing the multiverse in and making it a horror movie, I'm intrigued. I imagine you two are just ready to gush over it and say you love it.
Well, so here's the thing. We didn't get the everything's connected when it came to Marvel TV and Marvel film so far. S.H.I.E.L.D. loosely, and then towards the end has just been off on its own fucking thing. The Netflix shows were, there was an incident in New York.
Jarvis from Peggy Carter was in it.
That's true. Yeah. That's probably the closest thing we got to a connected universe. I mean, you still got Runaways, Cloak and Dagger. They reference characters, but the movies don't reference the TV shows at all, except for Peggy Carter with that Jarvis thing. So
you like
this is the chance to do that. This is finally like, fucking A, it is all connected. Would be nice.
I mean,
well, let's talk about Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. You guys are excited for this? That done?
I am. I like. I'll be honest. The title is a little, just heavy-handed.
Yeah.
As I would
buzzwordy.
Yeah, wordy, very.
And notice they're like Doctor Strange. Yeah, we know they don't like him that much. Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, will this? I mean,
it's like a roller coaster ride.
Will this be? Will this be like a horror, like Cthulhu, like anything like?
It's gonna be PG-13.
There's
not gonna be rated R.
There's definitely potential for being like a Cthulhu kind of thing.
Now, how about Disney making an R-rated Doctor Strange horror movie?
Then
I would have been excited.
That would be great.
But they're not gonna.
No, they're not.
But they can come very close. There's
What's
lot
a good
of
PG-13 scary movie?
The Ring.
Sixth Sense.
The Ring's not bad. That's the PG-13.
Sixth Sense was PG-13. A lot of people.
That's a thriller, though. That's kind of isn't that a
it's all ghosts and it's like people coming out.
That movie's gonna be trippy as balls. So I'm from that perspective alone.
Maybe.
I'm intrigued.
Maybe.
All right.
Well, I mean, they're bringing up the multiverse, which I mean they teased in Spider-Man: Far From Home, but that ended up being a whole fucking ruse. So the idea that they may actually pay it off is a nice idea. I'm interested in that.
movie.
There's
for them to do
versions
it.
of the story like where what was it? Where magic was being disappeared from the world, and then Doctor Strange had to go against. It was a whole multi-universal cult that was just destroying the magic, and then like I don't know what they're gonna do here, but like in that version, he had to gain more power. And
So-
didn't he sell like his soul to gain more power?
I'm not too sure on that.
It could have been another arc, but like there's dark versions of Doctor Strange where he has to go and make choices that no one should ever have to make alone.
The last thing, Kevin Feige is gonna push it. He's really pushing it if he thinks this is gonna be a horror film. If this is not a horror film, people are gonna be pissed because he's promising horror film, and if this is just like a jump scare thing, then
Which it will be.
It probably will be. Then nobody's gonna take this seriously.
I'm with you. He set up the precedent, and it better be a.
better
Scott
be.
Derrickson does that. So
When they're developing this movie, they talked about the idea of bringing Clea in, which is supposed to be Doctor Strange's like apprentice, the Sorcerer Supreme after him, right? I think they kind of threw that out in exchange for Scarlet Witch because they didn't make any announcements as to who they're adding to the cast other than Scarlet Witch.
Well, they still could.
They still could.
I mean, it's shooting, but yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go to the next one on the list, let's go straight to Loki, which is the worst logo also on the whole board. Let's be honest about that one. Loki, the show. Okay, look, I'm not trying to be a downer and everything, but I like Loki as a character, but I just feel like I've seen him do it a million times. I'm over it. I don't need more of him trickster. I get it. People love him.
He awoke to find himself trapped in the past.
The Endgame whole thing made no sense. He just how he disappeared with the Tesseract, but somehow then everything after still happens, and then he's
Well, that's
stuck.
a branch. That's it's a different timeline.
The whole thing's confusing to me, and I don't understand it. But from what I was told, this is a period film that's kind of like Quantum Leap with him jumping from place to place. I love Quantum Leap. I think it's ready to do it again, but man, I'm just over Loki. This feels like we have to use Tom Hiddleston, so let's put him in something. And we'll do a little thing in Endgame to justify why he's in the 70s, and it just feels like it's unnecessary.
Well, it's going to justify from Doctor Strange. We're already going to establish Doctor Strange is going to solidify the multiverse. So Loki technically will be in a multiverse. That's the only way that we can have
a parallel reality.
Parallel reality. That's the only way we can have them, really. Now, the fact that they put him in a period piece, I'm okay with that, because that could show him developing not as a villain. That could show him developing as a good guy, as he was doing in the MCU movies. Now, it just gives him like...
You want him as a good guy? Isn't he more fun as sort of the anti-hero?
Yeah.
No, he's actually... the good guys can be anti-heroes. So, like, Punisher, he's a good guy. He's not like Captain America good, but he's a good guy in the sense he does what he feels is right in order to protect what should be right. Now,
but are you really? I get it. You guys are pitching me. You're excited. I understand. But
don't say you guys on this one.
Oh,
I'm actually
okay,
not
I was gonna say, are you
for this.
Good. All right.
Okay,
Finally, I want to hear
yeah.
something.
Why? Because Loki's the least one I'm enthused about. I mean, it just feels unnecessary. It feels like fan pandering for Tom Hiddleston.
Okay,
He's the most popular
You never
character.
read like Agent of Asgard?
No, I've read that, and I've read Kid Loki and all the different versions, female Loki and her little stint to be good. I get it. I'm done with Loki. He had a really great arc. He went from bad guy to good guy.
And he died. Let him die.
He died a hero,
But like,
and they're cheapening it.
You just said Loki's
bringing him back.
changed multiple times.
Yes,
In that series, it doesn't always have to be Tom Hiddleston. Like, his character physically changes.
Yes,
becomes
absolutely.
a child, becomes an old man.
Which is what I'm worried
woman.
about.
But you
And
really don't
I'm
feel like
worried
we've had
about that.
enough Loki? Like, we've had a lot of Loki.
And you're going to get more.
But
I don't want it.
It's cheesy because you said that this is going to be like Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
How cheesy is that going to be? Like him,
Him rolling his eyes. I got to help this person today.
I'm Abraham Lincoln. I got to do
But
the
that's the
Civil
thing.
War.
He
I
doesn't
got to free the
necessarily mean
slaves.
that he has to help people.
I'm John F. Kennedy. I don't know. It seems kind of cheesy.
The thing that worries me is that they're going to use Tom Hiddleston for like 5 minutes of showing him jumping into a body, and then we have to follow some random actor as they play Loki.
It's not going to be him jumping in a body.
It's only when they do the mirrors.
Put your mind anywhere else.
I don't know. He controlled the doctor.
It's a
All right.
space
At the
jet.
end.
It sounds cheesy.
Loki. So we got the votes on that. Thank you. Finally, it came over to our side. Not
Just
into
one,
Loki.
man. I'm sorry.
All right. What if this one? I mean, what if it's not? This is not going to connect to the
It's
MCU.
animated. Who
Okay.
cares?
It's an animated show where they're going to sell alternate stories. I think that's kind of fun. They're getting the voice. I wish it was live action because it would be really cool for Marvel to start telling more standalone stories.
Yeah.
And what if Thanos had, won or beat them? Whatever these premises they're going to do. It's interesting, but this is not going to affect the MCU. So to me, this is just extra. And it's just sort of those are bonuses. I don't think I'm against the idea. It's a lot of Marvel right now, and that's an ongoing series that I feel like, okay, if you want to tell that series, I'm not opposed to it.
This is what we call filler.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a clip show.
That's always been a thing about the what if in the comics. But I love the what if in the comics because
it's an anthology. You can sort of tell its own stories.
You can tell any stories with what ifs. It's basically Nerd Wars animated.
Yeah.
And that's always been the case with what if in Marvel because everybody has always asked the question like, what if someone didn't do this? What if someone did this? Da, 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 da. And they just said, you know what? Those are great ideas.
What if Captain America was a bad guy? Whatever it is, yes.
Well, and that's a great idea to just like test things out.
Well,
put
they
things
said
out, and then
the
have
actors
fun.
are coming in to do their voices for
to do
their
their
characters.
voices,
Yeah.
which is fine. And like they
But
don't
see-
have to put as much money into it because of the animation in comparison to doing live action and getting scenes and locations.
My
That's
problem
great.
with this is like if you're gonna do it, and this comes to the point of like Disney and Disney Plus and family friendly. Like if you're gonna really do what if, it needs to be more Black Mirror, where you can do an R-rated episode.
Yeah.
Like what if they really went dark, or what if Marvel Zombies is the perfect. That's where you can finally do like a cool, hour and a half
Not
long
all- not all the
standalone
what ifs
piece.
What
It
if
should be
Thor
that way,
Dark
though.
World was good?
But I the only thing that worries me about what if is like I wish they could go more gritty and actually give us blood and
You
do
can get
stuff.
pretty gritty without being R. Like,
Well, I guess in animation you can get away with a little bit more.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because like,
Like
the
how
DC
many
The
like
DC, the DC comics
They get
away
pretty-
with it.
yeah,
gory.
their
Sure.
movies and shows do get pretty bloody and glory, and like
They're not going to put that on Disney Plus.
No, they
but
won't.
like
with
I
craziness.
watched Okay, they had Hulk versus. It's
Yeah.
an animated movie,
Yeah.
and I don't believe that's a rated R film. It's a 2 short films,
Yeah, I think
and it's like Hulk versus Thor, Hulk versus Wolverine.
Wolverine.
There's blood, definitely,
Oh, yeah.
and there's a lot of violence. And like one version is like Hulk's on the run from like an agency that's trying to capture him, and it turns out it's his old crew with Wolverine, and they're fighting,
Yeah,
and he gets
Omega
knocked
Red.
out.
Well, so these battles
then-
are fun, and they've kind of
Yeah.
done it. So I don't want to get too into
Yeah.
what if.
Yeah,
it
but
sounds
it's
like it could be a good story. Could
entertainment.
not. It's entertaining filler is really what it
Yeah,
is. So
filler.
let's take that out of the Phase 4. I'm not counting that as part of the MCU
Cream
thing.
filling.
But next up is Hawkeye. So and I like that because I started it and I want to finish the Matt Fraction books on Hawkeye are pretty
really
they're
good.
good.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're borrowing the logo, so that's a good sign that they're going that direction. This could be intriguing. At the same time, I don't know. I feel like even Hawkeye had his good arc in Endgame, and I don't really need to see more of it. Like,
Yeah, his
I would have rather seen like the Ronin thread. If I'm gonna go back and rethink,
Ronin.
like,
We're supposed to get
the
more
Ronin-
Ronin. They talked about that at Comic-Con. We're supposed to get more Ronin along with Kate Bishop. I think it's actually before Endgame.
So after
what
the
they're
snap,
setting it,
like,
yeah.
All that,
So if they go there, I'm more intrigued. If he go Hawkeye dark and his kid's taking up the mantle to try and save his that could be an interesting
Well,
dynamic.
it's not his kid. Kate Bishop isn't his daughter.
Oh, that's right.
like the replacement.
She was a socialite who was assaulted in New York City in Central Park, who basically raided the Avengers mansion and stole a bunch of gear, including Hawkeye's bow, and later just earned the title of Hawkeye from him.
And I think they've called this one specifically a limited series. So I think this is
Okay.
probably like more of a who knows? It's probably less episodes because Jeremy Renner's probably more expensive than some of the other people. But I don't know enough. It's so far out. We need to see more. But
he's probably
what do you think?
He's probably done with Hawkeye. He'll do this
And set it off for
and
someone
set
else to take the bow and
take-
arrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Kate Bishop. I mean I'd love to see. I mean considering they're doing WandaVision, if we can get the twins in there, then we have Kate Bishop, throw in Patriot, and you have Young Avengers. I mean it's the recipe's all there. So I mean I'd love to see that. That's the next generation of Avengers. And
So you guys are both you into Hawkeye, but just how on an excitement level, how excited?
I mean Hawkeye was definitely the most underused Avenger in all of it. They tried to give him his moment to shine in Age of Ultron.
The best part of Ultron, I would argue.
Yeah, and then
when he's talking to Wanda.
Yeah.
And then they definitely the Endgame stuff. I mean, holy crap!
Yeah.
Like they took him to a new level. So more of that is definitely not bad.
Yeah, they seem to he skips an Avengers movie and then he really comes in full
Yes,
force on
yeah.
his
Yeah.
Avengers. All right, so we're not in love with it, but we're tolerable. Final one up, and then we'll tally up our votes here. Thor, Love and Thunder. Bum, 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 bum. Now, look, I like Ragnarok. I'm glad Taika Waititi is back. Even this idea of Jane Foster coming back and playing Lady Thor, as they call her, I'm not opposed to any of this. It feels a little bit like, do we need another Thor right away? It feels like Marvel was like, we need an Avengers movie. We need another one. We're not going to have an Avengers in time. Guardians isn't ready. We don't have Black Panther 2. All right, let's just get Taika back. Let's do a Thor movie and we'll put it together.
It seems slapped together.
Yeah, it feels slapped
seems
together, and it's
slapped
coming out in 2
together.
years. Like, what, really? Thor? This is the last one I would have thought will be back on deck, but I feel like Men in Black failed for Hemsworth. He didn't get Akira, and so now Chris Hemsworth's like, all right, let's do another Thor movie, because why not? And I can't blame him. I think he's more interesting now, but is he going to be bro Thor? Is he not Thor? I'm torn, because I do like Taika Waititi. I think this is an interesting concept. If someone's going to do a zany, cool, fun, diverse, new big Thor movie, he's going to do it well.
Yeah.
So I get this one. Is anyone not excited about this one?
I'm not really excited. I mean, because I was looking forward to seeing Thor with Guardians. I mean, I think they should save that for Guardians.
As Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. And, just to, we got a female Thor. I mean, I know everyone's excited about that, but I think it's kind of gimmicky in a way. I mean, I'm not against female Thor or anything like that. I just think it's a little gimmicky, and it's kind of like Natalie Portman playing Thor, and I don't know if she's gonna. If it's
She should. I get it. The argument of like being Thor or being her own character.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I mean, I don't know whether I can buy her in the helmet and her holding the hammer like that, and it's just
So we
Natalie Portman.
Don't know that's what they're going to do, though.
Yeah, I have no idea if they're doing
'Cause-
it, because if she's turning into Thor, she's like a big Amazon
Yeah.
woman. I would like to see that, something cool or something,
No,
something-
I'd definitely be for that. That's something we never got in the Thor movies, was that secret identity, was
Yeah.
that Donald Blake. I mean, they kind of threw threw it out there in the first Thor movie. Oh, it's an old colleague of mine. I made a fake ID for you. But we never got that dual personality of, yes, he's, a human who turns into Thor, when he needs to. Mm-hmm. We may get that with Jane Foster. And I mean, if there wasn't already a precedent for a female Thor in the comics, then I'd be like, yeah, this is kind of gimmicky. But there is a story arc. There's this whole thing about her, being called to Mjolnir and her being able to, raise it after Thor is deemed unworthy due to a secret that Nick Fury whispered in his ear. And he becomes Odin's son and he has to, go on his own journey, and him dealing with her having his power kind of thing. But I mean, I have no clue what TV's going to do. No fucking idea. We'll see.
To be honest, Natalie Portman. Seriously?
But here's the thing.
I don't have a problem with her.
There's nothing wrong with Natalie.
She's fine.
And the fact that bringing in a lady Thor, that has nothing to do with anything. Thor is just a title.
Yeah,
it's his name. It's like naming your son Aaron or Sean or Tony or Chris. That's a name that can be going for a girl. They never really specify Thor is a boy's name. It's just you're just commonly knowing Thor, and now his name is definitely Odin's son. That doesn't carry. The title on the hammer says, "He whoever is seen worthy."
Well, let's not get into the whole later. We're going to do that in a different
this
video.
This is where I'm getting into, though. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, when they the great thing about Jane Foster Thor is not the fact that she gets the power of the Thor, is that you learn two things. One, what makes you really worthy. There's a lot of different factors that no one ever goes into, that it actually goes into that series and arc. Two, when they bring in Jane Foster Thor, it's not just the fact that she gets the power, it's what she has to deal with the power. In the comics, and they may do this or they may not, she has cancer and she's going through chemo.
Terminal cancer.
And she's suffering through it. Yeah. When she gets the hammer, every time she uses it, actually kind of cures her, so it's erasing the chemotherapy.
No. It makes her weaker.
No, it's erasing the chemotherapy because chemo actually damages you.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And so it's erasing the chemotherapy, and then so basically she's still suffering the cancer and she's dying faster because of this.
Yes,
but she still keeps doing it because she needs to be a hero.
I just want to fund Thor wrong.
Listen, we're not saying we're definitely not saying what TT's going to do that. We have no clue what he's going to do. But that's the comics.
The fact of the matter is, there's still fun in the series because she owns that. But it's if we're talking about we need a woman empowerment thing, and I love Black Widow because that could be that Jane Foster is a very strong character. And they never really shined her as they could as Lady Thor.
I'm just saying Natalie Portman hasn't really shined in the other Thor movies.
They never gave her the
chance.
No,
they never.
She never had the chance.
She was always a damsel in distress type of thing.
She was pretty bad.
I'm just saying, if you put her in the spotlight, I mean,
she's a fantastic
actor. She's a fantastic actor.
I've seen Black Swan. She can carry a movie.
She knows how to act. So I just think that's the material than the actress.
She can pull out.
She was great in Black Swan. But
she was great in The Professional. That's still
Professional.
It was like a 9-year-old.
Exactly. She's got in her. So I'll defend Natalie Portman. But overall, it sounds like no one's that. It doesn't even sound like you guys are that excited. You're
honestly
curious.
I feel like what TT is being wasted on Thor Love and Thunder only because that creative mind. I mean, he rejuvenated a franchise that honestly I thought was dying after Thor: The Dark World. He could be put to better use. I mean, Fantastic Four is right up his alley. I mean, I'd love to see what TT did Fantastic Four.
Thor was amazing in Infinity War. He was actually the main character. He was great.
He was great.
Movie.
Yes. So I'm just saying.
I loved him better than in Ragnarok. I thought he was incredible. He was like the main character.
In Endgame, he had a lot more
Infinity
too. Yeah.
War. Oh, I haven't seen Endgame.
You haven't seen Endgame? What?
I haven't seen Endgame.
Oh my! Aren't you in for a surprise? Anyways, so I would love to see what TT be used to, further the MCU and get some of that diversity and weirdness. And in a way, he is with a female Thor, but I was kind of hoping to get more new franchises or bring in Fantastic Four, he could have done the Eternals fucking great. I mean, there's a lot he could do. There's a lot.
No, don't waste a
lot.
All right, well, let's tally up the scores here because Black Widow, I'm going to give a half a point. Falcon and the Snowman, they're going to each get a point. Yeah. Ones that all four of us agreed are getting a point. Yeah. So we got a half a point. We got 2 points there. Shang-Chi, I'll give them that point. I think Doctor Strange, we're at a half point, so that's 2. 3, I'm going to give, wow, that's it. Hawkeye, that's fine. 4, 4.5. 5, I'll be generous. Let's give it 5 points out of 10. That's about a half of a score. That's about a meh.
Yeah, very meh.
So you're telling me we're torn?
Looks like we're about
the
halfway
fandom
through.
is
So you're
split.
telling me there's a chance?
I think that's a fair vote. I think it's a very meh lineup. I don't think it's something that any of us were that jazzed about. I think you are very in this side over here. You guys are open to a lot of them. We are not as open, but we're trying.
Didn't we forget one?
And I think no, that's everything.
What about Blade?
And then no, it's not
Blade's
Phase 4.
5, yeah.
And overall, I think that sums up the pretty fair feelings in Phase 4. It's gonna be meh. We'll see. Now, Marvel has delivered in the past, so obviously we'll find out what happens. Chime in below on the comments down below. What do you think? Which one are you actually most excited about? Which one do you feel like we got right on or not at all? You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook at any Signore, and check out my new Kickstarter. All the links down in the description below. Want to thank everybody for coming. Don, Lee, good to see you guys as always. That was a nice, heated, fun, civil conversation. John, as always, my biggest anime fan. I'm still not going to watch anime. He's trying so hard. Do you guys want me to talk about anime with John? Comment down below or tip me up if you think anime is
I just
big.
want him to watch the Alita anime. 2 episodes.
This is so sad. Please.
2 episodes.
Please
want to see the movie.
Maybe I'll try. No, I'm just saying it to be nice on there.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next week. We will be live next Wednesday, so stay tuned. We have a fun show next Wednesday planned. I'm already working on it. So be sure to come back 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for FANDUMB. We'll be back as usual, and more videos will be scattered throughout the week. So please stay tuned and have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Woohoo! Bye.
Good night.
Woo!